And I think it's going to be a fantastic government because it's going to focus on what the people want. They want security at the border.
Saying that Trump is the first de facto president in American history.
Yeah. Trump and RFK Jr.'s plan to pave the way for a healthier America taking shape.
Optimistic about the Trump administration. Business confidence is going way up.
Kevin O'Leary is optimistic about our future. Who isn't with Trump in charge? This is the new Trump era is coming, and business is already looking up. He's going to take the Biden stranglehold, take that boot off the neck of business. So what are we going to look forward to? I'm going to handle crypto on another episode, but today is just about the general market. It also involves the health czar, RFK Jr. We're going to weigh in on that too. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots are. Let's get to Kevin knows his business people on the inside, the guys that are proposing the wacky pro-tariff campaign that Kevin O'Leary knows is risky, but he likes that they're seasoned. These are people who know business and very mature. They're not risky, weird, or high risk. That's what business wants, is something stable. Kevin O'Leary's talked about it when he was criticizing Kamala Harris, who cannot articulate an economic policy, that no one in her campaign had any business experience, and Joe Biden's business side doesn't have a lot of experience as far as normal free market capitalism, the kind of stuff where you plug the money in the business grows, and then all the backers, all of the investors make money. That's how it's always worked. And Biden got rid of that, and Trump is bringing it back. And then this is how you do it. Trump's already in. I wish Kevin O'Leary was this enthusiastic about Trump before the election, but he can't play that game, I guess. He doesn't want to get involved in politics, even though this is going to hugely affect all of his businesses. Kevin O'Leary mentioned two items specifically. One of them is the cost of fuel, bringing that cost of fuel down, which Trump is going to do from day one. They're going to open up ANWR. He hasn't made that specific promise, but it's pretty obvious they're going to open up more drilling, more fracking, more petroleum enrichment, probably even nuclear. They've been talking about nuclear cargo ships, which would be clean running nuclear cargo ships. I think nuclear is the future for cheap energy. The other thing that Kevin O'Leary mentioned is, this is the big thing that Trump already started in 2016, but he only got to go so far, and that was cutting regulation. Remember, he had that policy where they would remove 2 regulations to replace it with 1, cutting them in half. You cut that regulation state and get the government out of the way of business growth, and you could blow up our economy in the biggest way, especially now that Trump has the mandate to go in extra deep. Not only that, he has something else in his back pocket. The Supreme Court ended that Chevron case that said that we had to all obey these unelected bureaucrats that were bringing in regulation. Well, the Supreme Court voted and said that all those regulations are extra constitutional. So it's very possible now that we could remove even more regulations that we've never seen before.
Saying that Trump is the first de facto president in American history. Yeah. He literally, when he went to Paris, President Macron treated him with the full presidential honors as though he were the incumbent president. There were 82 heads of state there. He met with the president of Ukraine, the prime minister of Italy, and it was literally as though the President Trump era has begun. And oh, by the way, Joe Biden's still hanging out. So de jure, in law, Biden is president, but de facto, in fact, I think for all practical purposes, the world now thinks Donald Trump is president, and his cabinet picks are the most entrepreneurial, most aggressive cabinet I can remember. And I think they're going to make an enormous difference in the quality of life of the average American.
You know a lot about the point where they go through Senate hearings. Does it look like most of the appointees will get through?
I think Senator Tom Cotton is right. In the end, he's probably going to get all of them.
He's probably going to get all of his picks. But I just want to bring up Newt Gingrich because he specifically brings up Trump. as having one of the most pro-entrepreneurial cabinets in recent history. And he's hitting the ground as the de facto president, even though he's not one in law yet. He's already setting it all up. This is going to be the biggest economic boom, I'm predicting, in our history, because they're going to remove all those regulations, as Kevin O'Leary said, and now they're going to hit the ground with new, explosive, new economies, new business growth. I just saw a tweet from Trump where he said any foreign company that wants to cut a check for and invest $1 billion into their American companies, he said he would remove the regulations to get them started. That's already going to bring all these businesses back in and say, we're ready to do business, because he's going to give them aggressive tax cuts, incentivize them to do business. Who wants to open a business in Canada? Who wants to open a business in Japan? Wouldn't you rather be a part of the American future? So I see good things for America, for those of you who own stock and have retirement. And remember, all boats rise, when that lake goes up. Everyone's goes. You don't have to worry about going, well, I'm not rich, I'm not going to benefit from this. No, it's going to open up. You're going to get higher salaries. You're going to get lower taxes under Trump. Better stability. That is, they don't have to go and hunt your Social Security and take it away, because we can get our bills paid other ways.
Trump and RFK Jr.'s plan to pave the way for a healthier America taking shape. All his businesses rallied behind the Make America Healthy Again agenda.
We make 1 million labels with 3,000 products, and the nutritional labeling is just very hard to handle.
Well, it sounds like RFK Jr. really wants to go after that. And, whether you're in the food business or whatever business, CEOs, business leaders are incredibly optimistic about the Trump administration. Business confidence is going way up.
Now, that's the Goya Foods guy. He does beans, remember, and he's very pro-Trump. He brings up an interesting thing. Number one, he wants to talk health with RFK Jr. because beans are healthy. But the biggest thing is the amount of labels, millions of labels he has to print different for all these different states because they're not united on health standards, which is all that Gavin Newsom whack job stuff out in California that tries to dictate policy to the rest of the country. It's murder for businesses. All the different menus and calorie counts that by law you have to put on menus. That's part of the regulatory state that needs to be removed. If it's not in law and it's just a bureaucrat passing those things, that all needs to be cut and moved on, because even companies like canned beans are having a hard time.
Part of that, to me, is when you look at the guys on the list and women on the list who Trump is bringing in, there's a lot of business people there, Bob. I got to believe for someone like you running a business, you like to see other business operators, other investors coming into this administration. It's a change from Biden.
We were there. It's palpable. You can already feel the change. The president's on the world stage in France. Trudeau in Canada and our friends in Mexico threatening some tariffs, and they're getting in line. We could have our 51st and 52nd states. The president was quipping. But, you're already feeling, we initiated the Biden term with a war on fossil fuel, Green New Deal, to out of control spending.
He's complaining about the Biden administration, the war on fossil fuel, the Green New Deal, and that's all going to go. And this guy's already saying everyone smells it in the air. They can feel it in the air. The Dow's already blowing up. This is going to be good for everyone. Just wait till Trump hits the ground. And you're going to see the old school, the old rhinos, the anti-Trumpers and stuff, they'll be against everything. The Democrat Party, of course, they're flat out socialists. They're going to be against everything. But that's old news. They're in the past, and everyone knows it. We have a mandate. It's going to change. All good news ahead. So I'm bringing on this one on a business front with Kevin O'Leary at the head and Newt Gingrich saying the same thing, and this head of Goya. Business is back in America. I'm Doug in Exile.